What's up, y'all? Welcome to the podcast. Welcome back to Truth About Him podcast, number one podcast, Mental Health and Wellness. I'm Anthony.
I'm Barron.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to another week. Welcome to a new year.
New Year's coming up, bro. This year went by so fast.
Yeah. Yep.
It's gone.
It's gone.
And we're able to sit through it. We had adversity in the year, but we made it through, and then we're ready for 2026. Yeah. So I'm excited.
I was reading a post and it said that life, it was paraphrased. Life shows you its greatness through adversity.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like the adversity that we face. It's supposed, but I think for the most part, it builds people.
Yeah.
Whether they admit it or not, it builds them.
One thing I was always told to me, and kind of stuck to me, was that the greatest sailors always had adversity in the waters. Like you have to overcome adversity to become great.
Even Popeye.
Yeah,
Popeye had Brutus, right?
Yeah, Popeye had Brutus. Constant adversity.
Yeah.
He didn't have good choice in women, but
hey,
no judgment.
To each his own.
To each his own. Not my like, but,
right?
To each his own.
Right. So we're talking about the unseen trauma that men face, right?
Yeah.
And it's a lot.
We all know we all talk about the stigmas and stuff like that. That's on the front lines. We know what that looks like, but as time gets more advanced, and as we as men, we're not the same men that our fathers were. So we're a little bit more advanced mentally. So that means the traumas that we face in 2025, 2026 are going to be a little bit more advanced, and they're going to be disguised a lot better than they were before. So they're still traumas nonetheless.
When you say that we're a little more advanced than our fathers were, what do you mean by that?
I mean, let's go back and let's think about the men 45 to 50 when we were younger.
Uh-huh.
How were they? What was their mindset like? How were they? Were they the types that they were the disciplinarians if they were in the household? They were do as I say, not as I do.
Mm-hmm.
They were the ones that went out, the quote unquote breadwinners.
Mm-hmm.
They dictated moves in the house,
right?
And you were to listen to that man because he was the breadwinner,
right?
Those rules don't necessarily apply in 2026. So that's what I mean by the mindset of the man has evolved. So that means the traumas has to evolve as well.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by that. So
what do you think the biggest, if there's one, the biggest trauma that men are facing in 2026 or in this current decade?
In this current decade. What society says what we should be, and sometimes it makes sense to us, such as like we were just talking about, men are supposed to be the providers. So we look at that as saying, okay, if society says I have to be the provider, then I must be the provider. I must. When men say what we must do to ourselves, we put an unnecessary pressure on ourselves. We put a burden on ourselves that sometimes we don't have to have that burden if we would learn to share it with others. But we don't. What's the first thing we say? I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good. And I honestly believe we say we're good because we're afraid to share our burdens with others out of fear of lack of understanding. You don't want to burden someone.
Yeah.
You don't want to be that quote unquote that guy.
Uh-huh.
So you hold it. And what happens is it's so easy for us to detach. It's so easy for us to quote unquote shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Because no one understands. And I guess that's what kind of pisses me off about us, because that's the first thing we'll say. No one understands. Have you talked to somebody? Before we got on, I just told you 40% of men don't discuss their mental health with anybody.
Yeah.
So to say no one understands is a fallacy, because you never spoke to anyone. You never talked to your best friend about anything, or you never spoke to someone who you hold in confidence. You are just, keeping it above water, keeping the conversation. Rarely do your conversations have depth.
Yeah.
And so I think if we get over that area of our lives, that we have to get over that. The world is not telling us not to share.
Yeah.
You know?
So the term for me, no one understands. I don't think it's like a complete fallacy, and
No.
I'll say that because I think it's the people that you talk to or share with, right? And I think you said just now it has to be like a trusted confidant because you can tell how you feel to the wrong person,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's in a sense weaponized against you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at some point when a man shares, I think he shares sometimes with the wrong person, and then it kind of backfires in a sense. And now he doesn't want to share ever, ever, ever again,
He shuts down.
which makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me go back real quick. So you said that a man must provide. Like, do you believe in that? Do you believe that the man is the provider?
Yeah, I believe a man is a provider.
Mhm.
But here's the thing: who says providing has to solely be monetary?
And that was my next statement because it's not.
Right.
Right. It's
You know.
not.
So that's the thing that we look at it as like
Yeah.
I'm the provider, so I have to
We look
basically
at it. We look at it wrong.
we
Yeah.
look at it wrong.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
look at it through a different lens of I have to make sure everything is paid for. I have to make sure that the phone bills are paid for because all the phones are in under me, so all of them have to be paid. I make sure the car insurance for everybody car is paid.
Yeah.
That's under me. Goes down the line, the mortgage, everything else. And that's a lot for one person in 2026.
Right.
Because
Right.
the dollar don't go as far as it did in the 80s and 90s.
Right.
So it makes sense that if you have a helpmate and if you're fortunate to have a helpmate, that helpmate should be exactly that. It shouldn't be, we said this many times, it shouldn't be the passenger on your plane.
Right.
That person should be your navigator,
Yeah.
your co-pilots. They'd be able to help you out.
Yeah.
So-
just help give you guidance, help give you counsel.
Help give you
Like,
guidance.
a good-
Exactly.
a good. I was always told that and I would say we're talking about a partnership here. A woman is really good counsel to her man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in us as men, we have to get past the fact that our providing is just financial.
Right.
We provide financially, but also provide protection. We provide peace. We provide guidance. We provide counsel. We provide all of that. So I think that's the thing that us men need to really realize is that it goes far beyond just monetarily, and I think that's where the trauma comes in because rarely are we seen for much more than that because that's how we show it up in a sense, right?
Yep.
And we have to realize and look at is that the way that you want to be seen is a way that you need to start showing up as, right? And if we do more of that, I think a lot of our trauma will not grow, will not fester because most of the scars that we have are internal.
Right.
And the internal scars, the ones you can see, are much harder to heal versus the ones that you can see.
Right.
So
Exactly.
it's just getting in that mindset, and So, but the trauma is real,
The trauma is real. It's there, and some of it. Do we self-inflict it? Do we feel like yeah? I think some of it we do feel like I'm a provider, so I must do X, Y, Z. I'm a provider. I can't ask for help. I'm a provider. I can't figure it. I have to figure this out on my own because I'm the provider. It doesn't say that anywhere. If you want to provide, be a provider. But if you're struggling with something and you have a helpmate, that's a conversation that you should have. Like, look, I'm having a struggle. I'm having an issue paying X, Y, Z, and
So
I don't have
define a
an
helpmate. Define an actual helpmate, not a partner, not a wife or girlfriend. Define what a helpmate is.
a helpmate. A helpmate is someone who obviously you trust, they trust you. You can have conversations and that reach beyond what are you doing today? How do you feel? What do what's for dinner?
Right.
What it goes beyond those questions. A helpmate is someone you can go to and say, I don't know what I'm going to do next month when XYZ come across because I have this is on my plate, this is on my plate, this is on my plate, and I don't see a way to navigate this. A helpmate doesn't weaponize that. A helpmate hears that
Mm-hmm.
and offers some sense of, I'm not saying an answer, but offers some sense of
The support.
support. Like
Right.
it's okay, and then how you word things is so important. How
Yeah.
I just said that was, I, I,
Yeah.
I. Your helpmate is going to correct your language. Your helpmate is going to be, don't worry so much about that. That's 2 weeks from now. We will figure this out.
Right.
You know, we will figure this out. What do you think you need from me? You know, that's one of the first things in my household that we what do you need from me? How can I help you out in this situation to make us better? You have to be able to have those type of conversations, those kind of questions, and have, but more importantly, receptive. You have to be receptive to that person
Yeah.
because you, and this is how everything centers around us as men. You chose that person as your helpmate. You know, that's just not a person that just didn't come into your
Yeah,
life
yeah,
and
yeah.
you're like, okay, that person didn't say, I'm going to be your helpmate. You're like, okay. No, you chose that person to be your helpmate. So there has to be some validity in what that person is saying. So you should listen, whether it's to the whole thing or you just taking nuggets and pieces and like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I feel the support. So therefore, yeah, will we get through this? I believe we will get through
What if
this.
you don't feel the support? What if they don't support you?
And that's supposed to be your helpmate?
It's the one that you chose.
Then you need
And-
to audit your situation.
correct.
You need to audit your situation
Right.
because honestly, if you can't have those conversations with your quote unquote helpmate, my question is that person truly a helpmate
Yeah.
to you? And are you a helpmate to that person?
Right.
Because it has to be reciprocated. I have to feel some kind of reciprocation if I'm pouring into you
Yeah.
constantly and nobody's ever pouring into me.
Mm.
At some point I'm going to go bankrupt emotionally, mentally, spiritually. I'm going to go bankrupt. So therefore now I don't have anything, and that's why we're 4 times likely to kill ourselves. That's why we detach from ourselves. That's why we shut down. That's why we hop on social media to get that validation, to get
Yeah.
that feeling of of
Value.
value.
Right.
And now we're looking at someone on the other side of the world or right around the corner to validate us, and they don't know anything about
Yeah.
us.
Something you mentioned. I just got this analogy, this idea, this vision.
Epiphany.
You talked about pouring into, right?
Mhm.
So I'll first say most men don't have that. I won't say most. Some men don't have the support or helpmate that you speak of.
True.
Right? Some
Mhm.
don't. Right? Even though they chose they chose that person. For whatever reason, things shifted, or for whatever reason they didn't check the Carfax. For whatever reason,
Mhm.
that person is not their true helpmate. Right? And that person that supposed to be helpmate can artificially be pouring into you, but but at the bottom they unplug, they take out a stopper, so when they're pouring in it's like leaking right out.
Uh-huh.
Right, so you think they're pouring into, like, wow, I mean, I'm getting poured into, but something, I'm not getting filled up, or I still feel empty. Right.
Now, why do you think that is? That stopper that was pulled, what is that looking like?
So I think it's there's this thing called intermittent reinforcement.
Mhm.
Right, and that someone gives you, they pour into you, they pour into you. So say they pouring a half a gallon, right?
Mhm.
Pour into you. Just use numbers here. Pouring a half a gallon, but they take out, um, you know, 16 ounces, right?
Mhm.
Pouring 20 ounces, take out 5, right? They give, take, give, take, give, take.
They're taking more than they give.
In the beginning, they're giving more, right?
Okay.
But towards like, once they get more comfortable with who you are, they start to give breadcrumbs, take them back. Give breadcrumbs, take them back. So you think that those breadcrumbs is a reward. So you're craving that a reward. You're craving that attention. You're craving that dopamine,
Mm-hmm.
right? But their goal is to keep you hooked, right? So this was a experiment that scientists did, I think, back in the '70s, where they gave mice some sweets,
Mm-hmm.
right, and then they took it away, gave it sweets, took it away. Now the mice, their only goal at some point was to get those sweets. That was their only goal,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then when they took it away, the mice were starving for attention. They were starving, and that's what happens now in relationships. Is that people give this intermittent reinforcement. They give you so much to
Mm-hmm.
keep you hooked. They take it away. They pour in so much, take it away, because that's their way of manipulating you. Now, I don't think it's done on purpose, but it's something in their mind that they do, right? So you have to recognize that,
Right.
right? Recognize, okay, you know what? This is not healthy for me. This is not something that it's benefit me. Like why do I think I'm getting poured into so much, but in actuality, it's taken away from who I am. It's taken
Mm-hmm.
away from my confidence, my personality, my self-esteem. It's taken away, and and I don't think you realize that until after you make a decision to leave, or it's made for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Give you an example. I'm gonna speak from a personal experience. Okay, um, I was having a conversation with a young lady,
Mm-hmm.
and so for me, whether I'm a bit unique, and no matter what's going on, I'm going to express how I feel. Right, I'm
Okay.
going to express it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you tell me to kiss my butt, I'm okay. Why? But I'm gonna express it. Your reaction or reactions doesn't prevent me now from expressing myself. Right, I'm going to say something. So, um, something was created for me when we were talking, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I wanna tell you something. I wanna express this. She's like, cool, express it. So I expressed what I said. I expressed how I felt. I expressed what was created for me, and her exact words, bar for bar, as Sean would say,
Bar for
bar for
bar.
bar.
Yep.
I'm sorry I made you feel that way. I'm like, what? Because
You were surprised?
I was thrown back,
Okay.
because that's not what I experienced.
Mm-hmm.
Every time in my past, I would express how I feel. Well, you feel that way because you did this, so that's how I reacted. It was always a result of what I did.
And that person was the same person that would give you that same reaction and gave you
No,
that
this
different,
no, this
different person.
different. No, different. No, this it's a different person.
Okay.
So it's totally different. But in my past experience with a relationship, it was like,
Mhm.
you know what, you feel that way because it's something that you did,
Mhm.
right? But for me to hear, you know what, I'm sorry I made you feel that way. That I lost for words.
Right.
So
Right. You wasn't expecting
it's
that.
my response. This is my response, trying to get out of it, right? I'm like, okay, you know what? We're cool. We're just friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't owe me anything. You know what her response was? Her response was
Bar for bar.
bar for bar. Well, if we ever have a chance to build something together, I do owe you that.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
But bro, that's not where I come from.
Right. That's not what you're used to.
That's not what I'm used to.
Right.
I'm used to, well, you wouldn't feel that way if you didn't do this to me.
Right.
But to say that, I'm like, is this reality? Is this how it is?
Yes.
Yeah, you know that. but
Yes.
coming from my world,
Yeah.
it's something that I was totally not used to. So that for me exposed an unseen trauma, right? It exposed something that I was totally uncomfortable with because I'm I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I know her response won't go sideways, but I'm gonna say anyway.
That was my next question. Like when you were about to express yourself, were you already in defense mode?
Yes, I'll tell you why. Because you know what? Now I have a way out. Now based on how you're gonna respond, I can just cut you off, right?
You was already exit
I
stage
was
left.
ready,
Right.
but it's like, nah, my bad. I'm sorry, I made you feel that way, and yes, I do owe you that. I'm like,
But see, that's what I'm talking about. How we take ownership. See, like you were already ready to exit stage left, just based on past trauma.
yep, right,
You didn't give what's in front of you a chance because
Right.
of past trauma.
Right.
So by expressing yourself, like your words gave you a way out, but in
Right.
actuality, it broke down some defenses.
broke it down because it's like, whoa, is this the reality of what I have to of what's possible
Yes.
out there?
Can you imagine if we had the space to be able to speak and say, I'm hurt, I'm hurting. I don't know what my next move is going to be. I'm at a loss right now.
Right.
I want to cry right now, so I
Right.
can cry
Right.
in front of you. Can you imagine if we had that space
Right.
to feel that way and do those type of things with whoever?
Right.
How much longer would we be on the planet? How much less stressful would we be? How much less of a burden would we feel we have to carry? So, like there is some trauma that is expressed to us or given to us from the world. But there's also some trauma that we take and we put it on our shoulders as I don't know, for whatever reason, a badge of honor, or, when you get a scar, you're like, man, I remember where I got this scar from. It reminds you of everything. But just because I have a scar on my hand so like these right here, I know exactly what happened here. I know exactly what happened here.
That's my dunk thing right there.
Huh?
That's my dunk thing right there. That's my when I dunked on you. That was like,
Nigga, please.
that's why I like.
Nigga, please. You get like this far off the ground.
I went Shaq and Andrew bottom on you.
Oh, and by the way, I'm 90% healthy now, so I'm back on my bullshit. But some stuff we carry that we don't have to carry. You can lay that down. You can put that down, but you have to be able to feel. You have to drop the defensives a little bit. I get it. Our past experiences allows us to be defensive, but can you imagine if we drop those defenses just a little bit for the sake of our own life, not for the sake of our kids or our partner, our own lives? If we can drop some of that just a little bit, how much more longer will we be here on the earth? That's my ultimate goal.
It comes down to safety though, but it's like you have to feel safe enough to lay that down. And I know, like, based on where I came from, I'm making progress, but having that safety piece, it's not there yet, bro. And it's not.
And it as long as you're trending in that direction and not stuck going the other way or stuck in that way, then you're good. Again, we always say give ourselves grace. If you're trending in that direction, live in that, and don't look back at what you used to be or what you used to do.
Yeah.
Look at where you are now and where you're trending towards, and stay focused on that. And never expect something from somebody, I don't care who they are, that you're not willing to give yourself.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bar.
That's a bar.
Never expect anything from somebody that you don't expect that you're not giving to yourself. So if I want someone to bring peace into my life, I have to be able to bring peace into my life. I want somebody to respect me and listen to me and give me grace. I have to do those things for myself first, because if nobody ever gave it to me,
give it to yourself.
I'm giving it to myself. So if I wasn't married, if I didn't have that wife, if I didn't have those kids, I would still be this version of me but maybe a little bit different, maybe a little bit more of an asshole, maybe a little bit more selfish.
You don't need no more.
Maybe a little bit more,
good.
but I would still be me. And what I used to tell clients when I would ask them, how would you feel if you were locked in a room with gray walls, no window, just you, a table, and a chair in a locked room for, let's just say, a day? How would you feel? Some people say they go crazy.
Yeah.
But why? It's just you.
Yeah.
It's just you in there.
Because it's not what you're used to.
Fuck, but here's the thing. If it was me, I answered the question because when it was asked to me, I was like, oh, I'll probably just be boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, but I just got to push back some on that, bro.
Push back.
I have to. It's, I don't know, it's a pushback, which is like observation.
Okay.
Right? Is that, like, for example, I think I would go crazy only because my life has been so used to chaos. And then once that chaos is removed and then that peace settles in, I wouldn't know what to do with myself because my nervous system has been so used to being unregulated, right? And then if I'm thrown into a peaceful situation, my body would probably react negatively because it's not what I've been used to. I mean, it will be good.
It'll be you would go into shock.
So it's like going through withdrawals,
Right.
Eventually, you want to settle. Eventually you're going to calm down. But I know, like, my initial, like, you know what, damn, that would be something that's kind of crazy because even now, outside of trauma that I've experienced, even now, my life is still go, 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 go because I have responsibilities. And to shut that down like that, for maybe the first, you said a day, maybe the first 12 hours, it will probably be kind of like, oh my, you know what, what's going on here? But I experienced that I think I told you this, maybe 4 or 5 months ago. I was feeling weird, right? Feeling weird. Nothing bad happened. Nothing was going on. I was feeling weird. I'm like, what's going on? So I'm like, I'm at a point now where I process everything and I ask why, right? Process why. And it can't be like, it's like, bro, right now you're experiencing peace. Right now you're not experiencing no chaos, no drama, no bullshit. It's peace. You're not used to this peace of just having no, in a sense, tragedy in your life.
Right.
No one talking mess to you. No one calling you this, saying you that. It's not when you're experiencing peace. So I know that will be peaceful for me, but it's just like getting there. But I think that I'm saying this out loud, I think that I can adjust faster because now I recognize what's going on.
The key, and see, the key thing that you just said, I would adjust faster than I normally would. Yeah. But okay, so the pushback there, here's my pushback. How were you before the trauma? Who were you before the trauma? Before the kids, before the exes, who were you? Because that's the person who you truly are. And you got to love that person. Like, you got to be and not to be conceited or, full of self or whatever, but nobody should love you more than you.
Right.
So when that question was brought to me, it was like, yeah, I love me. So yeah, we probably just gonna sit up there, me and my crazy brain, and we gonna sit up there. We gonna probably talk a little shit, and we probably gonna make a beat, and I'm probably gonna learn something. I'm gonna learn how to rap. I can't rap, but I'm gonna learn something. I got 24 hours.
Right.
So what am I gonna do? I'm probably gonna get a nap. I'm probably gonna go to sleep on the table. But crazy is not, because I know that in the end of that 24, I'm coming out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm not gonna go crazy. Why? Because I love me.
Yeah.
And that's the part I'm talking about. Like, yeah, the trauma was there. Yes, we're fathers, and yes, we have responsibilities, but who were we before all of that? And what happened to that person? And we're not even talking like as a child or anything like that. We're talking about your mindset. Who were you? You didn't believe you couldn't do shit because you believe you could do it all.
Right.
So where did that thought process come from where I can't do it all? That only comes as we get older,
Yeah.
as life hits us.
Listen to bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, if you put yourself in a room by yourself, a lot of people say they go crazy. But my question is, why would you go crazy? And it's just you and you love yourself. Like, you're not going to go crazy. If anything,
I guess the question it would be like, do you truly love yourself?
there's the question
That's
right
the
there.
question.
There's the question right there.
And
If you don't, the question is why? Who said that you're not valuable? Who says that you don't deserve to be loved? And if you don't deserve to be loved, that means you're not loving yourself. So you truly believe that. So you're not loving yourself, then you believe the lie.
right.
No, everybody deserves to be loved, but everybody should love who they are. They are uniquely and divinely made. There's no other Anthony out here in the world. There's no other Barron out here in the world.
One of one.
One of one. Why would you not love that?
Right.
So that's my thought process with that, which is probably why, I don't give too much shits about too much that don't really affect me. And some people call that living in a bubble.
What's living in the bubble?
I was actually called out on that, my thought process, about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I was upset for a minute because without giving any names, I was asked something and I was like, oh, well, that doesn't affect my household, so I don't let them do what they must. It doesn't affect me. It was like, see, that's what I'm talking about. You only care about what's going on in your world, and if it's not in your world, you don't care about it at all.
Is that true?
So here's what it is. I asked myself, is that true? I don't think it's true. I'm very giving. I'm very aware of my surroundings. I'm very aware. Like, I will get lunch for somebody just because. And it's just because I just felt convicted to do it. I just did that last week.
Yeah.
And I actually, do I or do I not just randomly be like, I was thinking about you.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're not the only person I do that to. So this person only said that because they asked me for something that I wasn't willing to give them. Because monetarily speaking, they asked me for something monetarily. I told them no. And because I'm confident in saying no. Because it was going to take away from my home.
Yeah.
And so I can't do that because it's going to take away from what I need in my house, what I need to get done in my house. And so that person went on to say, I only care about what's going on in my world. I don't care about anything else outside of my quote unquote bubble. And I need to learn how to be less selfish. That's what he said. Did it affect me? For a hot second. But at the same time, I had to realize who was saying it, and more importantly, why they were saying it. You only said that because I told you I wasn't able to help you the way you wanted to at that particular moment. So I'm selfish because I told you no. I only care what's going on in my world and not anyone else's because I didn't help you. If that's the reason why you say that, then everybody's entitled to their opinion. I don't share that opinion. And those that are close to me, truly close to me, don't share that opinion. So again, now I go to, why do I care?
Right. And something was key that I picked up, and just correct me if I'm off a bit. You said the reason that you didn't help them because it would take away from your household.
Correct.
But a person should understand that. So it'll be different if you operate out of abundance. Right?
Right.
I'm just not doing it because I'm just an asshole.
Right.
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 But you said that it would take away from your household.
Mm-hmm.
But any smart man would say, you know what, I got you. If because this is my response. If I ask you for, Brandon, let me hold $100. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't got it because it's gonna take away from my household. Bet. Anything that I need from me, I don't want to take from you if it takes away from your household, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you explain it, then like that's not on you.
So I went on further because, I always say the word no doesn't require an explanation.
Right.
I gave him an explanation, even though that's the reason why I said no. I could have just said, nah, bro. Nah,
Right.
I ain't. No, I'm not going to do that. I can't. But I did not want to sound insensitive.
Right.
So I gave an explanation. And that wasn't good enough. So, yeah. So, it's okay. Everybody has an opinion, and everybody is not going to think
Right.
of you the way you think of yourself, and that's
Right.
completely fine. Not here to please the world, but
Just my world.
I can't control the world,
Right.
so I can only control me, and I can only control what I do, and it was like it kind of took its toll on me because it was like that was kind of crazy. That came from somebody I kind of if I trust you, that says a lot because I don't trust a lot of people.
Right.
I trusted you. I trust you. But it just, as I get older now, I know there's certain things that you can say to somebody and there's certain things you can't say to somebody.
Right.
So I know moving forward how to navigate and move with and around you. No hard feelings. I just know exactly, low key how you truly really think of me.
Yeah.
Did it hurt? Yeah. Did it stop me? No. Did I believe it? For a hot second, I was like, damn, am I really that selfish? Am I selfish like that? Or could I have given that and dealt with, I could have figured something else on the back end? No, I shouldn't have to figure something out on the back end to help somebody else.
And I think that's where people start to question, because the question you asked, like, who were you before all of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine questioning yourself for years upon years upon years upon years. What does that do to your mental health?
Right.
Because you start to believe, well, maybe that is me. Maybe that person is right. Maybe I am this asshole jerk and blah, 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 blah. Maybe that is me.
Yep.
Even though that there may be some evidence saying that you're not, but the fact that you always hear it all the time,
Right.
you start to believe that stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And then that's what takes a toll on your self-esteem, your confidence, your mental health. Because I think that's also where you start to subconsciously doubt how much you love yourself. Because a person can say, I love myself verbally all the time, but how do you feel subconsciously about what's going on inside you? Everything that you do will dictate and show how much you love yourself.
I agree, because action speaks way volumes more than just words. I would rather never say I love myself, but I would rather everyone see that he loves himself because he's the way he treats everybody else, the way that he speaks to everybody else, the way that he has a conversation, because you can have a conversation with anybody about anything as long as you know how. We've had conversations about anything and everything you brought to the table. I brought to the table, but it's all about how you present it and how you express yourself. So I don't run from smoke, so to speak. I love having difficult conversations. I love the smoke. I climb chimneys just for the smoke. But yeah, I just because in order for smoke to happen, that means we have to have a difference of opinion. We converse about it. We have an understanding, and we move on.
Is that smoke though?
It's not smoke, but a difficult conversation is a difference of opinion. To have a difficult conversation says, I believe this about you and you believe something else. That's a quote unquote difficult conversation. That's kind of smoke, so I don't mind that because I would rather have clarification, especially if I value you. Yeah, if we got to have a difficult conversation every once a year or whatever, that's cool because you're auditing me and I'm auditing you. So difficult conversations are fine as long as it's from a place of love, it's from a place of support, and you know that the person that you're speaking to or you're speaking with is not there to tear you down or weaponize it, and you're not holding back, you're not you're not shutting down, and you're just appeasing the one person. Yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, you believe that? Yeah, okay, cool. Are we really getting anywhere? We're not getting anywhere. If I'm just saying something just so I can get you off my back or just so I can end the conversation, we're not really having a productive conversation. I'm just trying to end the conversation so I can go back and do whatever the hell I was going to do.
So I've done that a few times.
We've all done that.
And for me, I did it because I know that the person, if I give them my feedback, it won't be received. It's going to be a tug of war.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know what? I'm just not about to be tug of war with anybody anymore. Okay, I'm gonna listen. Okay, cool. I got you. If you were a person that I can give my feedback to and you receive it
Mm-hmm.
and we can talk, then yeah. But somebody who's just going to bite back and fight back, like, nah, I'm cool. You know what? I heard you. Cool. You know what? Anything else? All right, peace.
Now, how does that affect your mind, body, and soul?
At this point, it brings me peace.
Well, during that situation, if you were in a situation, quote unquote relationship, and that's how you felt about the conversations, difficult or not, how did that take a toll on you, if at all, on your mind?
It was an internal struggle. It was internal turmoil because you want to be able to have these conversations with someone that you love.
Right.
You want to be able to have this dialogue because for me, conversations that are difficult, they are healthy, right?
Yep.
Healthy if each person is listening and responding, not reacting, responding.
Right.
Like, you know what? Yeah, because I don't mind pushback. I don't mind disagreeing.
I
right?
love it.
Yeah, I don't mind it. But at the end of the day, once it's over, we're still in love. We're still friends. We're still cool, right?
Yep.
If there's this pushback, animosity, and being mad, that shit for me is crazy because I'm the type of guy is that I don't like being at odds.
Mm.
I don't like having arguments and then going away and it's unresolved.
Mm-hmm.
Because I said before, I don't have the talent that maybe you have or someone else has. Is that, hey, you know what? We can have a big FU session and I can just go and work and everything's cool. No, I'm gonna be thinking about that crap. I'm gonna be ruminating like, you know, like what went wrong. Right. So I want to get the air cleared like right now, today. Let's get it done because I'm going to ruminate over that stuff and I'm going to think about it and I won't be able to focus on the big task.
Now, what if the person is not as ready to resolve things? It may take them 2 or 3 days.
So if that's communicated
Mm-hmm.
and we say, you know what? No, okay. I think 2 or 3 days is unreasonable. I do. A day, but if you're going 2 and 3 days without talking to your person,
Right.
I've done it before. So I've done it. It's happened. You know, I went 2.5 months.
Damn.
Not by my choice.
Yeah. That's
But
so unhealthy.
so unhealthy.
So
right?
unhealthy.
Nah, like I'm like, damn, bro. But anyway, that's a different podcast.
Right. Right.
But
My, how we've grown.
have we grown? But if you say, hey, you know what? I hear you. Give me a day.
Yeah.
Give me a day to process this.
Yep.
You know, I didn't like what I heard, so I'm a bit, I'm a bit hot right now. Give me a day. So for me, that's cool because now we have a deadline, a date. But
Yeah.
my request would be this: will be make sure in that day, let's reconnect, or reconnect saying I'm ready to talk about it, or say, you know what, I need more time.
Yeah.
Either way, for me, it's just communication.
Yep.
Talk to me.
Communicate.
Because this mind of mine will make up the most outlandish story. Oh, he's saying fuck me. All that.
Oh, that's
right?
what we doing?
That's,
Okay.
that's
That's
what
what
we're
time we on?
doing? Exactly.
All right, well, fuck you too then.
So let's communicate
Yeah.
and say, hey, it's this or that, but it's not that, my boy.
Right.
It's
Right.
this.
Right.
So, but that waiting period, I mean, especially with someone that you were sleeping with every single night,
That's crazy.
that's
Yeah.
crazy. It's like
In the same bed or sleeping on the couch.
we don't show it.
downstairs.
Like
Yeah.
I never ever show my utter disgust with that,
Yeah.
but that broke me inside, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the person I'm sharing my life with, sharing my bed with, is that I'm not being talked to for 2.5 months. I'm not being you're on a couch for 2.5 months.
That's wild. Yeah.
That's crazy work, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy. So
I can't
but
even
but me,
imagine it.
I kept a straight face. You know what? I'm cool. It's like whatever. But inside, I was broken, bro.
That was your
And
ego.
That's my ego.
Your ego.
But it was ego / reality because at times I would try to spark something.
Mm-hmm.
Leave me alone. Get away from me. So okay, cool. So after a while, I just say, you know what? If I do this, I know I'm going to get rejected. So why even put myself to that rejection?
Right.
I'm just going to ride the wave. So
you shut down, so I'm gonna shut down too.
Right, because I shut down because I know that if I went in and tried to talk, I'm going to get rejected.
Right. So I'll shut down just out of safety. Yeah.
Out of safety. Right. Right or wrong, that was my defense mechanism.
Do you feel that was healthy for you?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Because let me rephrase that. It wasn't healthy, but for me at that time, I was protecting my peace.
The best way you knew how.
I was protecting my ego from getting hurt because it wasn't even peace, right? I was protecting myself from getting hurt because I didn't want to get hurt because I know that shit felt terrible. Right? So no, it wasn't healthy. No, it wasn't peaceful. It was me trying to protect myself. Right?
Yep.
Like, okay, you know what? Because I went in before and I walked in and I got shot at. You ain't better shoot at me no more.
Right.
Again,
that's our ego.
Again,
living.
Is it ego or are you protecting yourself?
Well, it's
because someone's shooting at you, you're gonna stand there and let them shoot at you over and over and over again.
Nope. You're gonna definitely look for protection. You're definitely gonna hide from protection. You're gonna protect yourself as best as possible. Your ego is gonna tell you to stay behind that whatever wall you're behind. Stay there because it's safe there. If you leave from behind this wall, you may get shot at again.
Or you may not.
Your ego don't tell you that. Your ego say you may get shot at again. Your mind should tell you you might not.
Right.
It's worth going out there. Yeah. Because you got shot at the first time. You didn't die. So don't hide behind that wall because your ego is telling you. Because remember, your ego thrives on security and safety. I know I'm safe behind this wall. I know I won't be shot at. I know I can't get hurt if I stay behind this wall. So, Barron, stay behind the wall because we're protected. I'm your ego. You stay behind this wall. Your mind is like, Barron, you are a man. Get up. Stand on your own too. Peek your head out first. Use wisdom when you come out from behind that wall. Know how to approach certain things when you get behind that wall, when you come from behind that wall.
Yeah.
You may get shot at. You may not. But that's the whole point of, again, you chose the shooter. So what was it about the shooter that you just had to have and made her that partner?
Right.
Those are the things. When something goes wrong in a room, a man is going to always say, what's wrong in here? A wise man is going to be like, what's wrong in here to make this look like this?
Right.
Dropping bars. That's bar number 2.
That was a bar. That was a bar.
But a wise man is always going to look inward first before he looks outward as to say, you did this, you did that, you did that. But what part did I play in your response to acting like that? I had a part to play in that.
You keep giving them the gun.
So
you keep letting them load that shit in front of you and pointing at you and shoot over and over and over and over again.
So if I'm in front of you, I'm gonna shoot you, right? Our ego's like, you ain't going nowhere, I ain't going nowhere. You see me, I pull a gun out, I'm loading bullets in there. At some point you're gonna be like, fuck you doing?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like, put that down. We're gonna have a conversation. You're not about to load that gun because I know what you're gonna do with it. So no, put the fucking gun down. Let's have a conversation and let's not shoot at each other.
I say no, get the fuck away from me, back up from you and keep loading. So
no, you just stand there and be like, oh, I see you loading it. I see you loading it.
No, you run.
You run.
You run.
Why run? Fucking have the conversation. Stand 10 toes
Exactly.
down.
Yep. That's my logic.
Yeah.
But it takes two people.
It does take two people.
It takes two people to sit there and have a conversation like, you know what? Let's put the gun down. I'll put mine down. You put yours down. Let's talk because you shoot at me, I shoot at you. there are casualties of this war we're having.
Yep.
And these casualties are watching every single piece of every bullet that's shot. They're seeing that shit in slow motion fly right past their head and go into. Actually, they're inhaling that smoke.
Yep.
And they were taking that to their
Yep.
shooting range or whatever.
And
right?
you are teaching them how to be functional in a dysfunctional relationship.
Right.
You know,
That's true.
That's the only thing you're teaching them. And for anybody, for us fathers out there that has daughters, and we do not want our daughters to see gunfight between the two, because they're going to believe, oh, that's normal.
Yeah.
I love my dad, best man I know, and he did it.
Yep.
So I love my boyfriend.
Yep.
And if he does it, it's okay. My dad did it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just gonna react like my mom did,
Right.
because now that's the normal. That's what I see.
Right.
If we think about it like that before we start engaging in shooting each other as partners, if we think about that first, I guarantee you, we would be different, because you don't want nobody as a mother, and you have, let's just say, a son. You're a mother and you have a son. You don't want your son's girlfriend to talk to him the way you're talking to their father.
Wait, say it again.
Let me go back.
Rewind.
If you're a mother,
right,
and you have a son, that son has a girlfriend.
Mm.
As a mother, you do not want your son to endure the language or whatever's being spoken to him. You don't want your son's girlfriend to speak to him like the mother would speak to their father.
Why not, if you think that's okay? I mean, obviously
You really want your son to be called. So
what I'm saying is that you, as a mother, you think it's okay because you speak to your boyfriend or husband like that, right? So obviously it's okay. So what problem would you have? And I'm just asking the question.
Yeah.
What problem would you have if your son's girlfriend or wife spoke to him that way?
There's a double standard in the world.
100%. Triple standard.
There's a double standard in the world. And as soon as we recognize this, we'd be better off for it. Mothers love the hell out of their sons.
Yeah.
And I don't care what race, creed, whatever you are, mothers love the hell out of their sons. The same way fathers love the hell out of their daughters.
Right.
A mother is not going to want their son,
Of course,
to be spoken to the way that they are speaking. But he's like, but mom, you talk to dad that way.
But mom.
But mom.
Right.
You know, you can't get mad at what Keisha's telling me when you talk to dad that way.
You gotta be Keisha.
I don't know why Keisha came. I come up with weird names, but Keisha, Mary, whatever. You don't want you got a problem with how she's speaking to me, but you talk to dad that way. All she did was say whatever, you know.
Right.
You talk to dad, you tell dad to man up, and you're not man enough for this, you're not man enough for that. All she did was say, you tripping. I don't know, but you tripping, and you don't. What you mean? Don't let her talk to me that way.
Yeah,
it's
definitely a double standard.
Yeah,
it definitely is. But yeah, I definitely get your point. And I just think that goes again to the unseen traumas. Like you've been so accustomed to living life a certain way for so long, and you look for ways, right or wrong, to protect yourself. Right. I know for me, so during conflict, we either fight, flight, freeze, fawn. Right? Okay. Stupid. After that, right? During a conflict. Right. So for me, my biggest contribution to the bullshit, in a sense, was, for me, I'm a guy that I used to be very, very complicit. Right? You say fuck me, I'm gonna say fuck you. You say this, I'm gonna say it. It has been because me, I'm like, you know what? I'm being, in my mind, I'm being torn down to nothing. So I gotta find a way to protect myself. Right? But me being who I am now, I don't have to protect something that's already valuable, it's already established,
Right.
right? I know the type of man that I am. I know what I provide. I know the value that I bring to this world. I know
Mm-hmm.
that. So at this point, I don't have to, or I will never engage in a tit for tat or be complicit with anybody because it's not worth my peace, my energy. It's not worth my value. It's not okay. You know what? It's just done, and I experienced that. Um, it was after my divorce. I dated someone for a little bit, and we're on the phone. We're on the phone talking. The convo goes kind of no yelling and screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Goes kind of left a bit. I'm like, data, right?
Uh-huh. Cool.
So, okay, cool. We finish up. Next conversation. Don't know about that. About that. More data,
Mm-hmm.
right? Third conversation we have. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. You know what? For me, how we're communicating. This doesn't work for me and who I am now,
Right.
right? Because it reminds me of who I used to be. It reminds me of where I'm never going back to. It reminds me of me not engaging in certain conversations with certain people ever again.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, you know what? Respectfully, I just won't do this.
Right.
Right. So now that I'm learning that we don't have to beg and fight for position. You know what? I'm not down low fighting for a rebound.
Right.
I'm not. And even that's strategic.
Yeah.
When you're down there, right? Even you can get in a way where you're not exerting all your energy and you're not fighting with this dude down low. So I learned that is that, once you establish who you are, establish a personal boundary that you will not allow anyone to cross again, because boundaries are for you, not for them.
Right.
Right? It's for you. Once you establish that, life and decisions and who you allow into your space really becomes easier and becomes more intentional, because you know that there's a certain person that I used to be that I'm not going back to. So, but I know that I have to avoid certain triggers, certain people, certain situations, because if I go back to that guy, I'm not worried about killing nobody else but myself, because
Right.
that's going to stress me the freak out. And then I'm going to find myself in a grave. My kid's going to be fatherless because I'll let someone else stress me the hell out. I'm good.
And that's what I'm talking about. Boy, let's give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, because that's what I'm talking. You've learned to love yourself a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in knowing who you are, and you had to go through what you went through to get to who you are right now. So every negative or every bad experience is there for us to learn, compute, get that information, apply it to our lives, and now when people ask me certain things, I'm like, I don't know what I for specific reason. Let's just say a car. Somebody may show me a bunch of cars, and I'll be like, I don't know which one of those I like. I know what I don't like. Yeah. I know I don't want an all white vehicle. I know what I don't want. I don't want a burgundy vehicle. I know what I don't want. So let's stay away from those. Yeah. And you narrow it down. You know what you will and what you will not tolerate, and you know what your energy will allow and what it won't allow. Your boundaries. I'm trying to keep it PG. Your boundaries.
I thought.
Uh-oh. I should just go ahead. Your boundaries, like you said, your boundaries are for you, not for me. Go ahead.
So my thought is that
run that
on this iPhone, right? I'm sure on your Android too. I've learned that red button is so important. I'm just gonna hang up on your ass because I'm not gonna deal with this stuff.
That's my homie DT.
This is my phone. I pay for this damn thing, right?
So why would I allow anything I don't want to go on here?
So that red button is okay. You know what? Okay, bye.
Meet the homie DT.
Yeah,
Meet the homie DT. Downtown. Yeah. Meet the homie DT.
Yeah. And I don't do that often. I mean, I don't, but
it's rare that I've done it.
It's rare. But when you do it, it's for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to challenge me, my manhood, my masculinity. You're not going to emasculate me.
No.
No one is.
No.
No one is.
I'm not going to allow it from anybody. If I don't do it, think about it like this. I love me, right? You
Yeah.
love you.
Yeah.
If I'm not willing to do it to myself,
Bro. Come on.
why would I allow you to do
Come
it?
on.
Because again, no one should love me more than me
Right.
and God. But if I'm not going to allow, well, I know He's not going to do it.
Yeah, never.
So, and I'm not going to do it. Why would I allow you to do it?
Right.
I'm the fool.
I'm the fool.
I'm the fool for allowing you to sit here and do something to me that I know I can't tolerate. What am I doing it for? Yeah, meet the homie DT.
Meet the homie DT.
And I'm cold with it. I haven't done it in a
Yeah,
while.
exactly, yeah.
It's been years.
Yeah.
But I will have a conversation and I will listen to the bullshit and I'll be like,
Are you listening?
oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm entertaining.
Oh,
I like to entertain. So I'm
okay.
petty. So I'll be like, oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I have one more. Back on my day, bro. Like, what we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hang up on you. I hung up on me.
That's a good discipline to have though, because you're not letting people affect your energy and who you are or dictate that.
I can't.
Right, you're not.
I have to spend my energy on. If I'm going to worry about something and spend my energy on something, it has to be something that I choose to. Like, one thing with me and my wife we say is, we are not going to sweat the small stuff.
Right.
We'll save our energy for the big stuff.
Right.
That we really got to have an argument. We really got to have a discussion. We save our energy for that because we want to come from a place of love and we want to come from a place of we can't say things. She's very careful on how she speaks to me because she says, I don't want to say anything that I can't come back from. When I heard that, I'm like, that made me like, damn, I got to be more careful on what I say.
That's crazy.
She one day, because I know people think I'm bullshitting. One day I'm gonna have her on and I'm gonna let you Q&A her. Q&A her. I'm just gonna sit back.
I want to interview Mrs. Benjamin.
I'm gonna, I think
bring her on, please.
I
because you capping right now.
And I will tell you, bar for bar. I'm careful on how I speak to you because I don't want to say something I can't come back from.
Damn.
Just that sentence alone shows so much value. That gives me a lot of leeway with her as far as she may say some things that I may be like, the fuck you say to me?
But it's nothing.
It's not that. It's not that because she's being careful. She's angry. And again, you got to know your partner. You got to. Is she perfect? Hell no. Does she annoy me daily? Do I annoy her hourly? So yeah,
I agree that talking shit and being emotional is different from emasculating a man.
Yeah, definitely,
totally different.
Definitely,
I can do talking shit.
Yep.
Right, but that emasculating and like you ain't this, you ain't a man, all that.
That's for the birds.
All that's for the birds, and some people had to learn the hard way. Right, but the fact
learn.
The fact is you learn.
Yep.
Right.
Still learn.
So
you mean, and learning is key, and learning is key. It's ongoing. You're never gonna stop learning until you die.
Yeah.
But you're always learning. I'm always like, every time I lay my head down, I always think about, did I learn anything new today?
Yeah.
And if I do, I'll think about it. I'll reflect on it, and I'll be like, damn, I did learn that today. I learned how. Okay. I learned how to maybe not road rage so much. Or I learned how to, give people grace that maybe didn't deserve it at the time.
Yeah.
I learned certain things. So you're supposed to learn something daily and apply it somehow to your life, because the day you stop learning is the day you die. And I look at it as voting. Some people say, oh, I'm not going to vote because it's rigged. Or I'm not going to vote. They're going to put who they want in there anyway. Yeah. So those same people, the way the government is going right now, I wouldn't be surprised if they say, okay, that group of people, you're no longer allowed to vote anymore. You wasn't voting in the first place, so you're not allowed to vote anymore. The uproar that would happen if somebody was to tell another person you're not allowed to vote anymore is ridiculous. Those same people, if you're gonna be that mad about not voting, did you vote?
Right.
And if you didn't, shut the fuck up. Your votes just got taken away. It's not until you take somebody's rights away. Then that's when they are like, I can't believe you took my rights away.
You talking about that? I mean, it's something that's totally unrelated to our topic.
Okay.
Just
Sidebar.
but sidebar. So I found out yesterday. I was yesterday years old
Okay.
when I found out that in the state of California, African American
I think
people
I know where you're going with this. Yes.
are only 6% of the population.
Yeah, that's surprising. That's not where I thought you were going. But yeah, we're only 6% of the population
Yeah.
in the world.
No, in California.
In California.
In the world, we're like 12%.
In California, we're only 6%.
6% of the population.
That's crazy.
Hispanics are 40%.
I can see that.
We're only 6%, but that was a sidebar, whatever.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a crazy stat.
Yeah.
That is that's amazing. I'm still blowing off 6%, but unseen traumas for men. We have to realize that when we take that dagger, that blood, that knife out, there's a little bit of blood that we caused, and we need to look at that first, and we need to find out why that is the way it is. I think we're getting into the age now where, yes, we run these stats till we're blue in the face. 4%, suicide rate. 40% don't discuss their mental health issues. We're dying at an earlier rate. What are we going to do about it? I'm actually tired of discussing the stats. If we're not going to do anything about it, if we're not going to reach out to somebody, if we're not going to audit our friend group, audit the people who we have around us so that we can be able to express some of these things, part of that is your fault. We have to take ownership there first. And in order for us to be present, we have to make sure that the people around us allow us to be present. So, yeah, that's my thing. Like, we have to do better.
Love it. Do better.
Yep.
Awesome. So that's it about him. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you. So
Appreciate y'all.
Always like, share, subscribe. Someone needs to hear this podcast. Someone right now is looking for something that's literally saved their life, and this podcast could be it. So we'll see you guys next week. Have an amazing week. Peace.